Eurobox presents Today's Rain, Tomorrow's Whiskey, written by Jaclyn Maria Fowler. It's a sweeping, storm-soaked epic of Ireland's soul and the man who helped shape its destiny. With Today's Rain, Tomorrow's Whiskey, Jaclyn delivers a powerful and immersive historical novel that reads like legend, memory, and rebellion braided into one unforgettable narrative. Jaclyn today is our special guest to present us this new book, so let's welcome her. Hi, Jaclyn. Thank you for being here, first of all.
Thank you, Ginevra.
So, we said that your novel opens with myth and legend before moving into documented history. Why was it important for you to begin Ireland's story in that almost mythical way?
Yeah. Ireland is a mighty little nation in the middle of the North Atlantic. And one of the things that has created Ireland and provided the backbone for the Irish people is invasion. So from the time, even before the Vikings, Ireland has been invaded by waves of invaders who have come to impose their will. And for 1,000 years, what happened was they were integrated into the Irish countryside, into the land, into the people. They learned to speak the language. They became Irish until Cromwell's forces came in the 17th century. And then everything changed. They had no desire to integrate or to become part of the Irish, the world of the Irish or the caretakers of Irish land. And instead what they wanted to do was rid the island as much as possible of the Irish and their culture and their language and their way of being and their myth and the beauty of all of it. And because of that, there were centuries of rebellions, mostly failed, epic, but failed. And they became the basis. They were the stories that compelled Michael Collins, who is the key character of this book, to become who he became. He grew up on the stories. His father was part of an uprising. He learned the stories from his father and his uncles, and his mother has stood against the English as a child in a school situation, and he learned that story, and it became part of who he was. And so, based on the idea of, I wanted people to understand where Michael Collins, the person that represents the Irish, where he came from. And he came from just centuries of invasion.
Exactly. Let's stay on Michael Collins because you anticipated my next question. He's both charismatic and a controversial character, actually. What surprised you most about him while researching and writing this book?
Yeah. So when I was a child, my grandparents came from Ireland, and they came from, my father's parents came recently from the Michael Collins area. And so I grew up on stories of Michael Collins, but as an icon, as a hero, right? He was up here. He was barely human. He was just this amazing, again, hero, icon. And in fact, I even named my son after Michael Collins. My son's name is Colin. And I was in West Cork in Ireland for a literary festival, and I was driving around and bumped into Michael Collins's hometown, and all of a sudden it occurred to me, oh my God, he's human, right? Of course I knew that logically, but the idea that he literally lived like I lived and had the fears that I had and the hopes and the dreams that I had, that's what was surprising to me. I know it shouldn't have been, but to know he had a fierce temper, for instance, that was a great thing. He wasn't perfect. He had a fierce temper. To know that he loved life. He played a lot. Like, one of the things I loved about learning about him is that he often wrestled, right? Like he would get into wrestling bouts with his friends, and just kind of a joie de vivre he had about himself. And what that did for me is it made all of the heroic actions that he took, controversial or not, and they are often controversial, um, it it made them bigger to me, because he he had to make the choice to stand outside of himself for a purpose that he believed in, something that was greater than himself. And he knew at some point that he might be giving up his life, the life that he loved so much, the people whom he loved so much. He might be giving it all up to stand in the breach between what he saw as wrong and what he thought was right for his country and his people.
Well, another thing that I loved reading the book, which is in line with what you're saying, you know, this Irish soul, are the pub scenes, the community dialogue feel incredibly vivid. If readers in the end take away one feeling or insight about Ireland after finishing the novel, what do you hope it is?
Wow, just one. Oh, I would say, I suppose, that it's a community of fiercely loyal, fiercely loving people. I have some of that same DNA running through me, and so I see it in the way my grandparents left a country they loved, left the people they love to start a new life, and just survived, lived on that fierceness that comes through the Irish. And when I say fierceness, I don't mean it as a negative, I mean it as a positive. Everything about the Irish is done at a level that's up here, it's next level. And I love that kind of, I go back over and over and over again because I love the spirit. I love, it's literally an unbreakable spirit that feeds that nation, that little island nation and its people.
Thank you for making us feel this Irish positive vibe. Thank you again for your time, and we wish you best luck with your book.
Thank you so much.
Richly researched, lyrically written, and also emotionally charged, this novel arrives at timely and resonant historical fiction, reminding readers that freedom is never handed down quietly and that nations are built as much in story as in battle. A stirring and atmospheric journey into Ireland's past and the rain-soaked roads that led to the independence. Today's Rain, Tomorrow's Whiskey, written by Jaclyn Maria Fowler, is now available in bookstores and digital platforms. It's a publication by Eurobooks.